how much privacy are celebrities legally entitled to? Why do we not know the name of this presenter?
Well, we don't know the name of the presenter because the Sun has chosen not to name the presenter. And the reason, I suspect, is because of the outcome of the DNA test that you just mentioned. If the DNA test had conclusively proved that he was the father of this woman's child, I suspect the Sun had taken the risk of being sued for libel by naming him, but haven't taken that risk because, in the end, I suspect they don't have sufficient evidence to satisfy themselves that they get through a libel trial. And so if they were to name someone and it turned out that, in fact, he wasn't the father of the child, and at the moment they don't have clear evidence that he was, then likelihood is would successfully sue the Sun for libel and achieve significant damages. So there's a right to privacy more broadly in our society. That right is often reduced in the case of those who choose to be in the public eye, and it's always taken away in the course of legal proceedings. So the Angelina Jolie-Brad Pitt case that we've mentioned, of course, is a United States case in Los Angeles. It's a piece of litigation over the ownership of a vineyard. And as I understand it, the only reason that particular story about the alleged assault on the aircraft has become into the public domain is for Angelina Jolie to draw attention to Brad Pitt's submitted drinking problems, which are said to be relevant to the case, because it's all about whether they sell a vineyard in France or not. She said, if he's got alcohol problems, we really don't want this as an asset in our family. So it's all tied up with the litigation.
But this is it. Most of us, we might have a few people who find out about, if people have affairs or some family scandal or bad behaviour or even possible criminal behaviour. Often, that just simply won't be known about except to closest friend and family. But when you're a celebrity, it goes everywhere. Now, there are a lot of celebrities who kind of, to all intents and purposes, sell their private lives. And we've seen recently, have we not, that extraordinary case with the Agatha Christie case, where we saw basically the case was lost, the libel case was lost on the basis actually the court found that it was a reasonable claim from Colleen Rooney that Rebecca Vardy's Twitter account, Instagram account, whatever it was, I never remember which one it was actually responsible for basically invading her privacy, and she was allowed to have information that she shared with close friends that did not end up in the public domain. But most of us don't expect our personal information to end up in the public domain. How much should celebrities just expect that it always will come out in the end?
Well, actually, the law is very much in favour of privacy, say where there's a very good public interest reason for that privacy to be breached. So a good example, of course, is if someone's charged with a criminal offence, doesn't matter who you are, that becomes public information, the fact that you've been charged, even though you've not been found guilty. And the reason for that is because we have public open justice, and the public are entitled in our open democratic society to know what's going on in the criminal courts, who's been charged, and what happens in the end. When it comes to your private life, your genuinely private life, your emotional relationships, your relationships with your children, etc., there's a very high level of protection unless there's a significant public interest in releasing that information.
Really good to know. Thank you very much. Well done for coping with the building work in the background there. Daw KC, thank you very much indeed for that.